We'll start with some of the top support questions. Question 1. I start up CentreWare Web and I get an error message that the configured identity username or password is incorrect. How can I fix this? This message means that the account that's configured for CentreWare Web to use to interact and run the two Xerox Windows services, Xerox Scheduler Service and Xerox Discovery Service, has had a password either expire or someone has manually changed the password for that account. The user will need to confirm the password for that account or change the password. Then they will need to use the Xerox CentreWare Web configuration utility to update CentreWare Web's information to start using that new password. Question 2. I'm running the usage counter history report for 1 month and it's showing me close to 30 meter reads and the report is huge. Why is it doing this? This is because you have historical data collection occurring in CentreWare Web on a daily basis. This report will return every meter that CentreWare Web collected over the time span duration specified. So if you're running the report for a 30-day time span and you're running historical data polling on a daily basis, then you will see 30 meter read entries for that time period. If you wish to see less meters in this report, you can either adjust how often historical data gathering occurs or specify a different time span period in your report. Question 3. I have IP ranges of known devices in my list of discoveries, but I'm not finding any devices. The number one reason why devices are not discovered would be that SNMP is either blocked or not enabled. This blocking mechanism could be at the router or another node within the customer's network. Question 4. I have an error when installing that says something about create database. As to the install, that requires install logs and troubleshooting the install and upgrade process for CentreWare Web. CentreWare 5.2 introduces many general enhancements to the tool, changes to configuration sets, and Smart eSolutions enhancements. With regards to new general enhancements, new device configuration settings have been added, extensive interface platform or EIP service registration, energy saver modes, and web services for devices or WSD services are now configurable through configuration sets or when editing a single device. Updated printer display layout. The detailed information for a device in a group list has changed. Printer display layout is updated to better group relative printer attributes and information. The new layout also provides a quicker way to access information without a lot of scrolling through pages. CentreWare Web now supports integration with SQL Server 2008 environments. The CentreWare Web database can be stored on an SQL 2008 server. CentreWare Web now also supports installation on Windows 7 and Windows Server 2008 R2. Active Directory Customer File Import will now allow users to import up to 10 customer active directories, whereas before only one directory could be imported. Only one set of credentials will be supported for access to all of the active directories. This feature enables CentreWare Web to import more customers into a single CentreWare Web instance. Device-based accounting data can now be retrieved at a device level. A user can go to a device's details and perform a Retrieve DBA Data action to retrieve the data immediately. This allows the user to obtain the DBA data when it is needed before a scheduled DBA data retrieval. The CentreWare Web Configuration Utility Database Export capability now exports the CentreWare Web SQL databases in native SQL format. Before, the CentreWare Web database was exported as a Microsoft Database or MDB format. Exporting in native SQL format reduces the chance of database corruption when restoring the databases. CentreWare Web will now require the Microsoft 3.5 .NET framework to be installed prior to installing CentreWare Web. The .NET framework is not packaged with the CentreWare Web installer. The existing configuration set functionality has had some minor changes as well as the number of settings it can support. One of the most significant changes is the compliance check action has been replaced with a new audit check action. The audit check action checks the devices defined in the configuration task against a set of configuration and reports on whether they match or not. Users should use this feature when they want to monitor the configuration of devices against a set of required configurations. A new audit check, apply configuration action, can check devices against the required configuration settings, and in the cases where a device does not match, will apply the correct settings. These two actions can help maintain the correct configuration across a fleet of devices. When a user employs Save As Configuration Set from the Edit Device page, they may now pick and choose what configuration sets to copy up front, rather than copying all settings and disabling the unwanted ones later. New configuration settings. Some new settings that have been added to the existing configuration sets are the ability to configure the SSL setting on a device, control access to the services of a device, support to configure the proxy server used by EIP, and other settings exposed in new devices. CentreWare Web now has an option to automatically copy devices to the Smart eSolutions group upon device discovery and registration. Once the device is discovered and auto-registered, the device will then show within the Smart eSolutions group. Benefits include ensuring newer moved devices are registered with Smart eSolutions and time-saving for administrators. Customers may download the CentreWare Web software for demonstration purposes. Go to http://www.xerox.com/CentreWareWeb and click on Download Now. Xerox representatives may access the following link to demo the CentreWare web server: http://www.centreware